All right, so here we have Tori. Tori is really awesome. We've been connecting for a few minutes here. We actually haven't had the chance to connect in person yet, but I really loved our time together so far. She has a really great, inspiring story, which she's going to break down for you guys. Tori hasn't been here for very long. It's been 3 months that she's been here, and she's had businesses in the past. So some people come to us with no experience in e-commerce, and then some people come to us with experience in e-commerce. And the really cool thing about Tori is that she is one of those people that had experience in e-commerce, but you definitely like strike me as the kind of person that's not a know-it-all. You know, you're open to learning something new. You're open to trying a different path, even though you have years of experience. And that just like open-minded mentality and willingness to learn and be coached has really done great for her. I couldn't think of my words for a second, but it's really been great for her at this point, just a couple months in, also being a mom and just having a life. She's gotten her business up to her highest month. She did just under $3,000 in sales, and she has a really big vision. She's already calculated some really intense goals, which she'll kind of share everything with you. But I love this story. I'm excited for you to dive into it more. So Tori, how's it going? Thank you so much for being here.
It's going great.
So so we'll start off with, where are you from?
Elm City, North Carolina. I'm kind of a smaller town.
Cool. Yeah, I love the accent. I know I said that before. So Tori, I know we touched on this a few minutes ago, but can you talk a little bit about your experience before joining Ecom Babes, like what your experience in e-commerce looked like and how that was going for you?
Yeah, course started out with, a bunch of handmade stuff, and it went okay, but it was just getting really busy. And then I switched to print on demand a few years ago, and I was getting like, 5 sales a week. And that is not what I wanted. And I was working very hard. Like I was almost working full-time hours trying to get this going. And do you want me to go ahead and tell my story, like how I found Ecom Babes, or?
Yeah, go right
Okay.
for it. If you missed out on anything, I'll just ask you. So
Okay. Well, well, the thing is just a few months ago, like probably in February, I was about to give up. I'm a mom of 3, I'm homeschooling, and I'm not getting anywhere. Like I was at the breaking point where I was trying something else again, like usual. And I was like, if this doesn't work, I'm giving up. And lo and behold, I'm laying in bed one night and your ad or your video comes up on YouTube. And I was like, this is intriguing, because normally I don't, you know, look into stuff like that. People think it's a scam or something like that. And so when I immediately watched the whole thing, set up my call, and I'm not one to invest in myself, anything like that. I'm very budget minded, been raised like that, and so for me to dive in like that, I really feel like was God leading me to that, because normally I don't do stuff like that. And then 3 months later, here I am, and this is all from a month's worth.
Yeah, that's so cool. So what was it like, if you're not the type of person, which I think it's cool that you've become that type of person, because that really, investing in yourself is everything at the end of the day. So it's like you've started a new habit for yourself, which is awesome. But what was it that like made you do it?
I guess it's just like I said, I was about to give up, and I I I believed that I could make $100,000 a month. I believed in myself in that way. Like it just hit my mind, like, yes, you can do this. Like this is definitely available to you. And like I said, I really believe God led me, because it's a big dream of mine to have a very successful business. And that's what I believe led me to it.
That's super cool. I love that you touched on that, because I find a lot of people, they want to start a business or they want more out of life, but in the back of their mind, there's some type of subconscious, like, well, I don't know if I could be that person that could make that kind of money, or I don't know if I could have a successful business like that. And I think there's a difference between like just giving up because you're like tired, it's like, what do I do at this point? And then just not knowing if you can do it. So I think that everyone watching this, I hope that you take something out of what she just said, because knowing that you can do it is everything. Like if you, and even us chatting before, when I was telling you how we had another student visit who last month did over $200,000 in sales, and you're like, oh, I can do that too. And that is, or whatever you said, but I got the vibe that you could do that too. And that is freaking everything. Like people want to learn the skills, they want to know how to put this whole thing together. But if you are questioning if you can do this, you're not going to make it. So I love that, because it is hard to teach that. Although it's possible, it is a little bit harder to actually like really rewire someone's thoughts. But you are like, I feel like you really believe you can do it.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
I have big goals, big dreams.
Yeah. Well, like what is your vision for this? I know it's only been a couple months, but why don't we talk about your vision?
Well, I have two big goals. My first goal is to actually pay off our home and have my husband quit his job, because he works, a lot, and we have a family, and that's my ultimate goal, is for him to stay home, and we run business together. And then my second goal is, along with this, I'm already giving to this, but there's an organization that is very, very close to my heart. It's actually like my second parents. It's African work. And I would love to be able to give them $1 million a year. That would be amazing, because they could do so much work. And then I would love to be able to go over there myself. I can't do that right now. But if we get straight financially very soon, we could start one over there ourselves and helping with that mission work. And those are my ultimate goals.
Super cool. You keep bringing up points that I'm happy you're bringing up, because that's another thing too. People are so focused on chasing the money. And although of course, like the money does provide a better lifestyle, but if you can be motivated by a mission as well, that is going to really push you through, like on your days you don't feel like doing anything. And it just gives you a bigger purpose, because eventually money, you can only do so much with it. So it's like, what are you going to do beyond that? So I like that you have something that is just motivating you and firing you up. That's going to keep pushing you forward.
It does, every day.
That's so cool. I love that. Yeah, women really have the opportunity to create a real impact in the world. And it's cool to see someone like you who believes in that and is going for that and is going to make it happen.
Absolutely.
It's cool. So what has been like your favorite part, of being here? I know for some people it's like ringing the bell for the first time. For some people it's like that first $1,000. So what has it been for you, and how did that feel?
I think it honestly might be funny, is the surprise of my husband, because I'm like, babe, I'm gonna sell. Look at this. I've got $400 in sales today. And because, he's always been supportive, but it's been so many years, you can't blame him for giving up, and he didn't really give up on me, but he just, he's a man, he's a husband. He just don't really get it quite like I do, And so seeing him get excited with me has probably been the biggest thing, honestly, because I don't really talk to a whole lot of people about it, because like I said, I've been doing it so many years. I feel like I've burnt people out. So I don't, really talk to people like friends about it a lot. So I talk to my husband a lot about it. And so ever since I've made this, he's like, okay, you've got this.
That's so cool. That's one of my favorite parts about this, is when people are like, oh, my husband or my mom or my sister, like my best friend, like they're like all of a sudden really excited and they really believe in me now. Because like true entrepreneurs, a lot of times, I know for me, and it sounds like for you, like it's not rainbows and fairy tales right away. Like it does sometimes take time, and other people can start to stop believing in you. And that's like the best feeling.
Yeah, it is. Proving them wrong.
That's so cool. So, okay, well, I guess two more questions, and then we'll kind of wrap up. That I love to end on these questions. So first off, the community, like the Ecom Babes community and the support, has that, like, what has that meant to you? Has it been a part of your journey here? Can you kind of touch on that a little bit?
Oh yes, I feel like I have run the lives ragged, because they help me so much. Like I'll get off the live when my husband's watching the kids for me, and I'm like, they like spent 30 minutes with me. I'm like, they spent so much time trying to help me. And actually just a few weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago, I don't even know if it was that long, Miles really helped me with my script. And like right after she helped me, like sales just almost exploded. And so just the support is very overwhelming. They are so willing to help you, and I've heard other people say like when you post it in the group, it's almost like immediate response. And so it's been great, and it's really been like extra special when like even y'all are rooting for us. You know, like you get up there and comment, or Miles gets up there and comments. It's like almost every time, and it's very inspiring and like motivating when y'all do that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's cool. You know, a cool thing, I don't know if you know this about Miles, she actually was a student at first.
Mhm.
Yeah, she still has a business, but it's just,
Yeah,
yeah, like anyone can get good and learn this stuff for sure. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So,
Because I don't know if I mentioned it, but this has all been affiliate. I haven't done any ads with this.
so this is all organic traffic.
Mhm.
That's cool. I love that. So you're keeping a lot more, essentially.
Yeah,
That's awesome. And then just wait until you eventually do start running ads. It's going to really take off because you've proven the concept. But that's, I think that's such a great thing to bring up, because everyone watching, like, she did all of this without spending any money on Facebook ads. Like, there are ways to run a business without having to invest in advertising. Yes, eventually you get into that, but this is like just proof that if you do the work, you can build a business without having to essentially pay for ads, which is cool.
exactly.
I love that you've like gone through the process and you didn't try to just rush to like, oh, like, let me just run ads because that's, you know, easy or whatever. Like, I like that
Yeah.
you've gone through it. That's cool. So what advice would you give someone who maybe wants to join Ecom Babes, or they are in Ecom Babes and they're just like, they're not fully invested. They are wondering if they can do it, like half in, half out kind of people. Like, what advice do you have for that person?
Um, for me, this might just be figure for me, but honestly, I think the number one thing, or maybe number two things is for me, set a schedule and stick to it. I was finding that when I was all over the place, I was not sticking to it and staying motivated. And honestly, I don't know if this is just me, but I feel like when I message more and I'm more active, I get more response on Instagram. It seems like when I just do it once a day or something, I don't get response. But when I do it 10 times a day, I get responses like every set of messages. And I don't know if that's Instagram's algorithm or because I'm engaged more. I don't know. But honestly, the more you push, you know, the more you're going to get out of it. And you got to work hard and stay motivated. Like, you cannot give up. You just got to keep on. Even if you don't get a response out of 100 messages, you have to keep going and find the right person. And when you do, it's gonna, you find that one person and you just keep going from that.
Hell yeah. Yes. I love that. Well, I really appreciate your time, Tori. You're freaking awesome. This is such like an inspirational video, and I know a lot of women are really going to appreciate your story. So thank you so much for being here, and I can't wait to connect with you again. You know, we're going to do another one of these when you have your first 100K month. So I'm excited for it.